Hey guys, Roger here, and welcome back to another video. And this is a reaction and review to the 9th episode of MLP, which is Non-Complete Claus. I have no idea what this episode is about whatsoever. I managed to avoid all spoilers. I don't know. I think it focuses on the students, on the students again, because on the thumbnail in my folder, that's what it showed, so I'm just assuming it's the students. So let's begin. Starting the video in 3, 2. Am I still recording? Yes, good. Starting the video in 3, 2, 1, click. Oh, she's adorable. She's adorable. Oh, she's cute.
Did I miss the Teacher of the Month announcement? You're just in time, but it's gonna be me.
Oh no!
Yeah, right.
Please don't tell me this is going to be a thing with like SpongeBob with.
Friendship School Teacher of the Month is Fluttershy. Again? Come on!
Oh my! I don't know how I keep winning.
That's cute.
Yeah, me neither. The award is based on the students' vote. They must really like you.
I was.
Congratulations, Fluttershy.
I was afraid this was going to be a kind of a like the thing with SpongeBob and Squidward
Next item of business.
competing over
I've been looking into
Employee
a
of the
new
Month.
activity for our friendship classes. Spike?
That's a freaking big book.
Section 147, paragraph 2 states that teamwork is a key part of friendship, and Section 229, paragraph 9 says outdoor activity reinforces learning. Add that together, and what do you get?
Ooh, ooh! Okay, let me see. 147, 229, carry this 2. 387?
A teamwork field trip. Leading it is a Teacher of the Month type job.
Uh-oh.
So I thought I'd ask...
I'm your pony, Twilight. Sweet Apple Acres has taught me a thing or two about working together.
Yeah, but being a Wonderbolt's the definition of teamwork.
I'm sure you're not saying fancy flying makes you a better choice than me.
Look at Flutters. Jesus,
I wouldn't
Jesus
say
doesn't give a crap.
better, just a little more qualified. No offense.
Maybe you can lead the field trip together.
Of course. Who better to model the importance of working as a team?
Rarity, Fluttershy, me, Spike, this flower pot.
Both of you are teamwork experts. If the students see the two of you teaching together, they'll learn even more. I know you've been competitive in the past, but I'm sure you'd never let that get in the way of friendship education.
Oh no, no, no. Let me get my 44. I'm gonna need this. That face. I'm gonna need this. I'm sure I'm going to need this. Yeah, what I was thinking was they were gonna go with the gimmick at first with like SpongeBob and Squidward competing over who was going to we're gonna need that. I know. Competing over who was going to actually get the Employee of the Month. And now, oh boy, now these two are going to be fighting.
I've never been on a field trip before.
Yeah, what's the point of this exactly?
Getting out of the classroom, duh.
So who's Miss Frizzle?
Best at field tripping.
So who's Miss Frizzle? Please tell me Twilight is Miss Frizzle. Where's the magic school
Pretty
bus?
sure the head mayor has something else in mind.
All right, class. Today you'll learn how important working together is for building a strong friendship.
Hey, y'all. Ready to get out there and do some learning the Apple family way?
This is basically gonna be the best field trip in the history of ever! With me in charge, that is. Whoa.
With us in charge, meaning mostly me.
Yeah, good one. And what teamwork activity
Oh
do you two
my
have planned
gosh.
for today?
I'm having kind of flashbacks to.
Racing! No way! We get to do both? I bet that's exactly what your teachers had in mind.
I'm kind of having
Why don't we start with ship
flashbacks
building first?
to Look Before You
Don't
Sleep.
mind if I do.
Applejack and Rarity arguing and bickering. Only back then Twilight was completely oblivious to it. Now she's fully aware of it.
Remember to work together.
Otherwise, I will kill you. Where's ice in this?
Now take a good deep breath. What do you smell?
Yak?
Nope.
Oh boy.
Try again.
Apples?
And anyone? No. Good promise, though. Teamwork.
That's adorable.
That there's an apple shed. And this here is what we're gonna use to build it. Nothing brings friends together like a little hard work and honest sweat.
And free labor building something.
Sweat? Seriously? That's supposed to be part of friendship?
Not every pony would know that, Rainbow Dash. Just teacher of the month kind of ponies.
Whatever. Let's just get this done so we can move on to my activity.
I know something's up. Yeah, let's do free labor.
That's it. Measure twice and cut once. Haste makes waste. Slow and steady.
Emphasis on the slow.
Rainbow Dash, you can't build an apple shed like that.
Oh yeah, I just did.
Whoa! No way!
Whoa.
Impressive. If you can call an apple shed impressive.
Just 'cause it's
What?
fast don't mean it's good.
Oh, sorry, can't
Yeah,
hear you.
I'll admit
Too
that.
busy practicing my teacher of the month pose. Yeah. Hoo-wah.
Don't count your pictures before they're snapped, Rainbow Dash.
Oh, come on! These students are totally gonna vote for a teacher who gets things done.
Oh no.
No, they're gonna vote for a teacher who gets things done right.
Yeah, this isn't awkward at all.
Well, the craftsmanship isn't exactly.
Steady. Take her nice and slow.
It'll fall apart.
Little to the left. A hair to the right. Now hoop shaving higher.
Just bring it down on
Oh crap! Ah! Good thing nobody was in there.
I'll give you one guess whose side is still standing.
Yes, side!
Professors? I'm a little confused about teamwork now.
That's because you need a different teacher. Follow me. Last one to the stream
Oh, boy.
is a rotten apple shed.
Oh boy.
Who's ready to smash the all-time equestrian speed record for river canoeing?
I love this shot.
Is that even a thing? First I've heard of it.
We need to get to the finish line before
What
this
finish line?
alarm goes off. That means you gotta move fast.
I like the canoe.
Any questions? You wanna have questions? No time for them. Get in the boat.
You
I'm
really
sorry,
think some
that's
canoeing
morbid,
is gonna get you that
But that's
teacher
probably
of
what
the month
happened on the
trophy?
Titanic.
I'm pretty sure every creature's gonna like it a lot better than pounding nails and cutting wood.
People were like, I have questions. The crew, no time for them, get on the boat. That's probably what happened to the Titanic.
Sometimes, when I'm scared to try something new, I whistle.
You're going to be doing a lot of whistling, I can tell you that.
We got you, Yona.
Way I see it, Twilight's gonna give that teaching trophy to a teacher, not a racer.
We'll see about that. Stroke! 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 Harder! Put your back into it, newbies!
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Slower. Focus on her paddle technique, y'all.
when we move.
When every creature starts listening to me, the leader of my activity, Applejack. Now stroke!
They're going to go over a waterfall, aren't they? They're going to go over a waterfall. Hey look, Captain Rainbow Dash just discovered Equestria.
Stop! Go!
Oh, rapids.
Go! Left! Right! Aye, aye, captains! Wait, what? Left! I can see the finish line from here!
What? Oh!
If we go left, we'll be heading straight into the Barracuda fish.
Who cares
Barracuda?
about a fish?
Professors?
You'll care plenty when they bite you.
Guys?
We'll just go around
We're gonna crash! Ah! And we're dead. Oh, great. Uh-oh.
I love field trips!
Hope you're happy.
Obviously not! Because there goes our new speed record!
She can't swim! Or she's too heavy.
Jack, not swim!
That's awesome.
That's okay. Your friends can change into creatures that do.
That's awesome.
How's the canoeing?
Going.
About as good as the apple shed building.
Yeah, I might want to send out the Equestrian Coast Guard.
Applejack messed him up!
I did not.
Did too!
Did not.
Yeah.
I'm a Rainbow Dash
Been
fan,
like this all day.
but I gotta say,
I wouldn't say all day. Just
Applejack is right
99%
here.
of it.
Rainbow, ooh, you're dead. Like,
I can't believe this. You're not teaching teamwork. You're competing with each other. I thought you were past that. We are!
no, so, no.
Mostly.
No, you're not.
We got carried away with wanting to be the teacher of the month is all.
The teacher of the month wouldn't care about being the teacher of the month. I know Fluttershy would be thrilled to see another pony win. That's it. I'm taking over this field trip.
Hold up, Twilight. Don't count out Rainbow Dash for the award just yet. You should have seen her fire up those students to build a shed.
No way! You're the one the students listen to. Besides, you saved us from those pony-eating fish. Long story, but Applejack should definitely be teacher of the month. Maybe you two have learned something after all.
Does that mean you'll give us another chance at the teacher?
No, they haven't learned anything. There's still 9 minutes left. They haven't learned jack.
Well,
They haven't learned anything.
Twilight, we get it. No more arguing. Right, Applejack?
Right as rain and twice as fresh.
Cute.
Fine. But I'm picking the next activity you two lead. A nature walk. No pony could possibly argue over that. Right? Right!
No,
See?
wrong.
We're agreeing already.
Oh no. Oh no. Who's gonna get eaten?
Well, look at that. The path splits up ahead. Left or right?
Here we go again.
Where to, Rainbow Dash?
I was thinking right.
Unless you want to go left.
Oh
Because
no.
what makes you happy makes me happy.
Oh, heck. Forget about me. You want to go right? We'll go right.
But teamwork means listening to other ponies, so it's up to you.
Well, aren't you as sweet as sugar apple pie? But it's up to you.
Follow me. Yak no best way.
Hey, where y'all going?
I was gonna say, yeah, take the best looking path. We got a song? Or is it just music? Oh no. Ram him! In the butt! Nothing sexual about that. I wouldn't eat that. They're going circles. They're going in circles. Hey, Scooby-Doo! He knows it.
I think we've gone in the same circle 5 times.
Huh.
Only because some ponies won't make up their minds about which way to go.
Do you want to keep going in a circle, Applejack?
Up to you, Rainbow Dash. I insist.
I know they didn't learn
No,
anything.
I insist.
But I insisted first.
Are we still on a field trip? Because this just feels like being lost.
Dang.
We can still get back to school before dark if we cross that ravine and stop doubling back.
How are we going to cross the
We
ravine?
knew that. All part of our plan. Right, Applejack?
Anybody got a helicopter?
Yep. All we have to do is build a bridge, cross that giant canyon, and we're home free.
There's no way.
If you think a bridge is a good idea,
I don't.
Only if you want
You don't have enough wood.
Listen, we can just fly everyone over and be done.
That'll work.
there's still plenty of time to teach y'all a lesson in teamwork.
Cooperation.
Together.
Shut up.
You are so right.
Shut up.
Only as right as you are.
Okay.
Shut the freak
We'll
up.
build a bridge. What do we use?
Branches.
Vines.
Oh no.
Branches.
I'm going with your idea. Vines. No buts about it.
I'm building with your idea. Branches. End of story.
How about they just go ahead and fly on over and leave these two to fend for themselves just briefly? Let them stay there a couple hours and then Twilight can magic them back. Oh my gosh, that is bad!
Why use a branch when you can use a vine?
Do you realize how unsafe that is? Hey, Applejack's that cat, the hang in there thing.
Why didn't I think of branches to begin
Oh my
with?
gosh.
They're so
That is so
easy to work with.
they're dead.
Now, these here vines are just the thing, Rainbow Dash.
Not to disagree, but these here branches are the way.
Oh come on, you're not too far above the water.
At least now they're agreeing on something.
You're not hanging too far above the water.
Take it out.
Let me try.
Though granted, if you fell, you would drown. There's nothing to grab onto. Okay, you'd also get eaten alive. Okay. So the question is, would you drown or get eaten alive? Which one?
And they look mighty hungry.
We gotta get our professors out of there. Any creature have a plan?
Leave him hanging?
Dude, I think you just became my favorite
But mainly fast.
of these characters here, of the students. I think you just became my
I hate to
favorite.
admit it, but this whole mess is kind of our fault.
Do you think?
No trophy is worth getting eaten over.
Or drowning?
So, what do you say? You want to team up and get ourselves out of this here pickle barrel?
Can
I
you?
thought you'd never ask.
What the freak? Oh!
Don't worry, I'm just the distraction.
A Celis?
Okay.
You nearly scared the cutie marks off us.
The what? Oh, the cutie marks. Okay. Okay, that works. That's good. That's good. And now we're going to drown.
Need a lift?
Ha! So we don't have to. Pardon me. So we don't have to call the Equestrian Search and Rescue.
Welcome back, professors.
Now that was a rescue! And y'all did it together!
Duh.
No big. Those fish weren't even a thing.
Oops, sorry.
Best field trip ever!
Ooh, I love that shot. That's nice. Ooh, I love that.
How was the field trip?
Well, they almost died and drowned,
What'd
got
y'all
eaten.
learn?
You know, usual.
Yak learned pony smart.
Yeah, Professors Applejack and Rainbow Dash
Maybe
were
not.
such good teachers.
It was kind of crazy genius. They showed us what not to do so we'd figure out what we should do.
Really?
It took us a while to
I love
get
her
it.
skepticism.
Especially at the ravine. It would have been so much easier to just fly home.
But instead, our professors built bridges the wrong way just to show us how important teamwork is.
They're dead.
Yeah, that was super dangerous. Talk about commitment.
We know it's too early to pick the teacher of the month, but we'd like you to consider Rainbow Dash and Applejack.
Thank you for telling me. I'm so
She's
glad you
so
made the field
going to
trip a
demand an
success.
explanation
I'll
later.
make sure to schedule another one right away. You were actually just competing the entire time, weren't you?
Yep.
Tell you the truth,
Well,
not all the time. I agree with you for the whole
Ooh, I
nature
love that
walk,
shot.
Only 'cause you were angling for that Teacher of the Month award.
you were the one doing the angling.
Here, Twilight.
You're more like fan dangling.
No one here can understand
Look,
your
we all live in the
country.
same town.
Oh boy. Okay. I did enjoy this episode. I did. I can't say it was my favorite episode, but yeah, I did enjoy it. And it's interesting because at first glance, the first thing that I thought they were going to go with was a bit of a similar kind of setup with SpongeBob and Squidward, with SpongeBob and, you know, with Applejack and Rainbow, kind of wanting to, in a way, you know, they kind of trying overly hard to earn the Teacher of the Month. And they kind of were, but it wasn't just, you know, one. It was both of them, and they were both competing. And the thing was, of course, we already know that Applejack and Rainbow they have a competitive nature about them. Duh, they have a competitive nature. Rainbow, I would probably have to say, is more competitive than Applejack is. She's more easily provoked into a competition. I can probably say she is definitely more easily provoked. Applejack, however, I mean, it's an interesting dynamic here between these two characters. Both are really, really competitive against each other. But Rainbow is more easily competitive. I honestly say she's more easily competitive than Applejack is. She's more easily provoked into racing, into, I mean, anything of a challenge, anything of a competition. If something can be made into a competition, she kind of seems to do it. Now, I have to say, I mean, over the seasons, she has kind of toned back a bit. She's kind of learned to take a step back, and especially since joining the Wonderbolts, I don't think she's exactly as competitive exactly as she used to be, but she still has that competitive nature. I mean, that's Rainbow, you know, that's part of her personality. And Applejack, she's competitive too. She is quite easily provoked, not as much as Rainbow. With Applejack, it's more stubbornness. It's more stubbornness for her. Thinking, like whenever she thought she could, whenever she could get all the apples in Sweet Apple Acres by herself. She was too stubborn to accept any help. She said she could do it by herself, and then she realized she couldn't. She wasn't physically capable of being able to do that. And here, they kind of wanted the Teacher of the Month award, and so they were kind of competing with each other. Now, I have to admit, for the most part, most of what Applejack was saying was correct. Building a shed, you know, building it slow and steady wins the race in a way. this kind of makes me think about the tortoise and the hare concept. You know, slow and steady wins the race. Now, you could look at it and say that that is true. Now, I'm not going to say that's true 100% of the time. However, as a builder of model kits, I have to say Applejack's viewpoint is 100% correct. With building a model kit, or really with a lot of things like that, I know this from experience with model kits. If you try to rush it, you're sacrificing quality to try to get it done quickly. And this kind of proved it because you had two different perspectives, two different dynamics with Applejack and with Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash wanted to do it quickly, get it done, and she sacrificed quality to be able to get it done quickly. And Applejack wanted to do it slow and steady and be able to produce the quality and craftsmanship that she knew that could be achieved. Again, I know this from experience with model kits, and I mean, this also applies to video editing. This applies to a lot of different aspects. It also applies to gaming. Whenever a company wants to crank out a game really quickly, and you can see a bunch of glitches and things like that in it, you can tell it's not. I mean, and then after the game comes out for a long time, they're constantly giving out updates. Whereas whenever games are pushed back and developed, you know, I mean, they're sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they're trying to improve the quality. And so Applejack honestly was right here in regarding to building the shed. And with Rainbow here, yeah, she wanted to make it a competition, and she wanted to compete and make it a race. And considering this was the first time that a lot of these characters had been canoeing, yeah, don't exactly think that was a good idea, especially in an unknown territory. Again, Applejack was right here. She was 100% correct in taking it easy and trying to go the right way to avoid those piranhas. She was right here. However, of course, again, both were trying to compete. Both are trying to compete with each other and try to earn that award. And then whenever Twilight pretty much said, all right, you two can't agree, I'm taking you off the case, I'm applying a law enforcement viewpoint here. Whenever she said, I'm taking you guys off the case because you can't get along, then they tried to, and I could tell it was a ruse, then they tried to be like, well, you do it. We'll do it your way. And I could tell they were just acting, and again, they were trying to get that award. That's what they were thinking of. And they weren't working together. They were acting like they were trying to let the other one judge, but again, what they should have done was work together to work out the scenario. And then they started bickering and arguing, and again, it ended up putting them. They were arguing, deciding to go with each other's plans instead of working together like they should have to create something good. They did it on their own, and yeah, it almost cost their lives. It almost cost them their lives. They risked drowning or getting eaten or both. And so it took the students here, the Student 6, to be able to pull off a rescue to rescue their teachers. And it was very interesting because, again, did Applejack and Rainbow learn to not compete? No. No, given the end of the episode, they didn't learn jack. They didn't learn jack. They did learn a bit. I think they did learn their lesson with this, I think. But did they learn not to bicker and argue and to not try to compete as much, not make everything a competition? No. No, they didn't learn that. They didn't learn it. And I think, honestly, yeah, this is realistic. I can understand. I don't know. Like, I haven't seen anybody's reviews yet of this episode, but I can understand if somebody doesn't agree with the ending, saying they should have learned their lesson. But you know what? I am okay with this ending because it's realistic in that some people just don't learn their lesson the first time. You know, it takes more than one bump to the head for them to get it through their thick skulls. No joke. There's a guy that I work with, and the idiot was on his way to work one night, and I wasn't there that night, but he wasn't wearing a seatbelt and ended up in an auto accident, ended up flipping his car. And he come out of it okay, but I've tried to tell him, dude, wear your freaking seatbelt. He don't listen. He just laughs and says, nah. And I'm thinking, all right, whatever. You know what? I tried to tell you. But again, he had that accident. He didn't learn. This is like that. You know, it takes sometimes more than that. It takes more than just one bump to the head for somebody to get it through their thick skull. You know what? Maybe I should look at this from a different perspective, or maybe I should learn my lesson here. I think that Rainbow and Applejack will always have that competitive nature. I think that as long as they live, they will always have that competitive nature. And Twilight, she understands that. But she was right in wanting to take them off of the field trip, take them off the case, and like put herself in, like assign herself to it, because she knew they were bickering too much to be able to focus on the students. And it ended up, she didn't know it, I'm sure she'll find out later, it ended up jeopardizing Applejack and Rainbow Dash's life. I'm sure Twilight will find that out. But I think the students at the end, I'm calling the bluff. They knew that Applejack and Rainbow, they knew they weren't just acting all this out. They knew that they were legit bickering. They knew that they were legit arguing. They knew that they were legit in trouble. They weren't faking anything. But the students did a great job of faking that, of making it sound to Twilight like they believed that their teachers here had put that act on. They did a good job, but like I know they knew the truth. They knew the truth. And pardon me. So, I mean, even though Applejack and Rainbow were bickering and everything, they still were able to help teach the students work together, because they were able to see firsthand, or first hoof, what happens whenever two people don't get along. Whenever two people, I mean, yeah, okay, Rainbow and Applejack are friends. They are best friends, but like the students saw what happens whenever two people cannot get along to the point, I mean, cannot get along and work together. They saw what it was doing, how it was affecting them, how it was affecting planning, how it was affecting thinking, how it was affecting everything that they were doing. And it was jeopardizing everything that they were doing. It was putting many bumps in the road that they otherwise did not need to put there, that they otherwise, by working together, wouldn't have had there. The students were able to witness first hoof what happens, or first claw, first whatever, first fin, whenever that happens. And they were able to see that. And so Applejack and Rainbow unintentionally did teach the students, but not in the same way that they wanted to, that they thought they would. They thought they would teach them through a different experience, but how they actually taught them was through observation of themselves, of their self. They ended up, Rainbow and Apple bickered and did not work together, and the students were able to see first hoof what happens when you don't work together. And so then the students were able to work together to rescue Apple and Rainbow. And so the students did learn, but not in the same way that the teachers here thought they were going to teach them. And again, did Apple and Rainbow learn their lesson? Heck no, they didn't. But then again, who says they need to? Like, this is realistic, because just like real life, some people, like that guy that I told you about, it takes more than one knock to the head for them to actually learn their dang lesson. Some people are just really hard-headed like that. Are Apple and Rainbow bad guys in this? No. I would say they're natural. They're lifelike. They're like other people in real life, like I said, they're good people. They're just too hard-headed to to learn the lesson the first time. It takes more than one time for it to get through here. There's not enough, how can I put this gently? There's not enough brain in there, and there's more rock than there is anything. I'm not saying Applejack and Rainbow are stupid. They are both intelligent, both in their own way, just like any of the characters are. But again, they're overly competitive with each other, and I think that will always be a thing. But I do think that you know, every time that they learn through a situation like this, it will help them to understand the consequences of what could happen if they don't work together. And so even though they're bickering and arguing here at the end, I think they did still learn something from it. And that they will take that with them. And so, yeah. So overall, I think this was a good episode. Again, it kind of made me think about the Magic School Bus there. But I did really like the episode. It definitely wasn't my most favorite, but I did really like the episode. It was a really cool episode, and again, it was interesting because, like, we have seen Applejack and Rainbow competing before, and so, you know, it's a natural thing for them. So to see it again here, it's very interesting. And again, I think it's really cool. But again, I did really enjoy this episode. It was cute, it was fun, and I did honestly really enjoy it. But going over a few different aspects here with this episode. First off, there were some very adorable characters that we saw right from the get-go. There were some really adorable characters that we got to see. I can't talk. We see this other little pony over here on the side, sniffing the flowers. Cute design for her. We see this other pony with the pink hair reading a book by this fountain. Lovely design. We also see this other character over here on this bridge talking to this guy with the purple hair. Cute design for her. And we see this other character reading a book in the background on the left. Also very cute. Very cute design. And we see this guy just sitting here listening to a record, just sitting here with sunglasses on. Why am I thinking of Psy? I don't know. And we see this other character right here again, talking to this guy right here. This might be the same character that I said that I liked earlier, but again, cute to see that. Again, some really adorable designs for some of the characters here. And again, Fluttershy being, I honestly started to say Employee of the Month. I honestly, truly did. But Fluttershy being the Teacher of the Month. And, like, every face that she has is exactly the same. Fluttershy is not really photogenic. And I gotta say, whenever this yak started to drown, I kinda couldn't help but think to myself, way to go, Applejack and Rainbow. Just float there and let your student drown. Great job, guys. Leave it up to the other two students to do the rescuing. Great job, you're awesome teachers. Like, do either of you know first aid? I mean, like, out of all these characters, Rainbow would have to be the one to know first aid, definitely, because she's part of the Wonderbolts. I would imagine that learning first aid, basic first aid training, would have to be a basic protocol for joining the Wonderbolts. In case one of your teammates becomes injured or something happens to one of your teammates, basic first aid, possibly advanced first aid training, would have to be a basic protocol. And you would think Rainbow would know this, but instead she's just like, oh dear, she's drowning. Oh well. And Applejack is like, oh dear, she's drowning, y'all. And like, I mean, honestly, I'm not saying Applejack doesn't know basic first aid, but I would think being part of the Wonderbolts, you would have to know first aid. But again, great job, guys. You succeeded at letting her drown. If that was your mission, okay, you still failed because she got rescued. And this moment, whenever these two ends up stuck in the tree, and the horn deal is brought to the attention, and the yak is like, yes, I am totally fine with ramming them in the butt. And she headbutts them and knocks them out of the tree. Look at that smirk. That smirk is like, I enjoy doing that. But then again, you know what? In all honesty, what child didn't at some point enjoy doing something like that to their teachers if they had that opportunity? And then we had a gimmick here that was kind of similar to Scooby-Doo, where characters are going in different directions. Again, like, you know, going in different directions. It's very similar to Scooby-Doo. It's very reminiscent. I have seen it in a couple of other things before. It really never gets old. And whenever Applejack makes a mention about crossing this canyon here, like, legit, the question that comes to my mind here, and I'm trying to use logical thinking, is there's no way you're going to build a bridge. There's no freaking way you're going to build a bridge across this canyon, because, first off, how are you going to get to the other side? How are you going to get the bridge to the other side? okay, yeah, okay, Rainbow can maybe fly over, but again, you've got trees for wood, yes, but in order to make the planks, you'd have to saw them, measure and cut them, plus you need either some really strong vines or rope. Like, you're dealing with a project that's going to take hours, if not days, to complete. You've only got a few hours to nightfall. There's no freaking way you're doing this. Like, logically speaking, it's not possible. It's not going to happen. The same sensible thing to do was, hey, you've got a few here who can fly. Just fly them over to the canyon or fly them back to the school. That would have been the most sensible thing to have done. And I gotta say, Applejack hanging by the vines, like, yeah, this is that meme with the cat, where the cat's hanging and it says hang in there. Yeah, this is that. This is that. Applejack is confirmed that cat. And that moment whenever the two end up in a ball, like, didn't this happen with Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean? Wasn't there a scene like this in I keep thinking, wasn't there a scene like this in Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow ends up in a ball like this? Wasn't there a scene like that in that movie? And that's what I thought of here. And at first, whenever they realize that they're hanging over the water, I legit said, you know what? It's all good. You're not too far above the water. That fall is not going to hurt you. But then I realized, oh, they're trapped in a ball consisting of vines and branches. They can't swim. It's probably going to weigh them down. So yeah, there's a risk of drowning. Then I saw the piranhas. And I'm like, oh, okay. So there's a double risk here. If they don't drown, they'll get eaten. And honestly, the piranha, that's cute. I gotta say, that's cute. Like, she might be supposed to be a piranha, but that's cute. That is a cute design for her. Like, you cannot find that. You cannot find that scary. That's just too darn cute. And a couple of other things that I gotta say, like I said, the cinematography here, or rather the art style for some of these scenes, is just gorgeous. I mean, look at this lovely sunset view outside of the castle. And then it's shot inside the castle. I love it with the soft lighting effects, the nice sunset pictures, like this nice warm setting sun outside. I love that. And also, I noticed it. It's a small thing, but look at the statuettes, the busts on these pedestals. They are of the pillars of Equestria. You have Star Swirl over here on the left, and what looks like shoot, I can't remember. Not Mage Meadowbrook. Can't remember her name. But here over on the right, you have Somnambula. And we have Flash Magnus here in the background. And look at these faces. Look at this face of Applejack. Look at these faces. Twilight is like, alright, Applejack. I searched through your browser history. Applejack's like, oh, shit. He's like, okay, so there's a bunch of things you can do with apples, alright? Like, this is too good. This is honestly just too good. And again, we also have, I forgot the other guy's name, the big bulk guy. We have him here as well on this pedestal. And again, look at the lighting. Look at the lighting in this scene. I mean, there's like, I don't know if this is, like a glass dome or like a glass ceiling that's over top of this particular section of the school, but look at that lighting. That soft lighting, the sun cascading, the soft rays of the sun cascading down. A very soft effect, very beautiful. I love that translucent look. That is just absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful, it is warm, and it's just beautiful. I love it. But again, yeah, I did enjoy this episode. It wasn't my most favorite of Season 8, but again, I did enjoy this episode, and it was a fun episode. It was also cute because there was some really cute faces in it. It was also interesting to be able to see, again, Applejack and Rainbow bickering and arguing and, you know, competing against each other again. And they did kind of get their comeuppance at the end, and, you know, they had to have their butts rescued by the students whom they were trying to teach. And, again, did they learn the lesson? I'd say 10% yes, 90% no. You know, they're still competing, they're still going to compete, but I do think that they will carry what happened with them, and that they will take it into account in the future. So maybe they can avoid getting trapped and almost dying again in the future, by letting their bickering and by letting their over competitiveness put them in that situation. So maybe, but again, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But again, I did enjoy this episode. It was fun. It was cute, and again, there was some really nice scenes in it. But again, hope you guys enjoyed. And again, thank you to everybody at Hasbro. Thank you guys again for everybody that worked on this episode. Thank you guys so much, and thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and again, thanks again for joining me. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.